Hey guys, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I have definitely never vlogged from my bed before. um, as you can probably guess, I'm a little under the weather. So there's this thing that's been going around. You may have heard of it. Kind of made the news a little bit, you know. Yeah, I got it. I knew it was going to happen. I've been doing my best to boost my immune system and had hoped I wouldn't get it, although I was pretty sure I would. And so I've just kind of been taking all my supplements and all my things to help my body fight it off quickly. But I knew it was going to happen because I mentioned in a video recently how I had gone out of town for a few days. It wasn't really a social visit, it was kind of an emergency sort of thing. And the home I was staying in, every single person came down with it a few days later after I left. And all tested positive. So there's no doubt what I've got. But anyways, I'm sure I will be just fine. Although I do feel like I've been hit by a truck. That's probably the worst part. But I'm avoiding everybody else in the family. And, yes. Watched some YouTube yesterday. I will probably watch some more YouTube today. Mr. Smith has been taking care of me, doting on me, fussing over me. He is definitely taking care of Mama. But I will say, those of you who pray, please pray for him, because, I mean, if you want to pray for me in my recovery, great, I appreciate that, but he's a little worried about me, especially after he just lost his mom, you know, so it's kind of, he's a little bit of a wreck right now. So if you could pray for him, I would really appreciate it. Hi, Sassy. My little buddy. He's been keeping me company a lot. Ah, buddy. Lay down. Lay down. Alright, so my battery died. And I figured I would come out here onto the front porch and get some fresh air. So, something else that I want to talk about. Oh, let me bring this down here a little bit. So, something else that I want to talk about is, you know, I've been seeing a lot of talk about how people cannot wait for 2020 to be over, that this has been an awful year, and you know, people will post things and be like, can it get any worse? Oh, honey. All I can say is, don't ask that. Don't ask that. Because I think too many people are counting on the turn of a page of a calendar to make a difference, and I don't think it's going to get better. I hope I'm wrong, but I think there's a very good chance that it could get worse. I mean, the turn of a calendar page is just that. It's not going to change what's going on in our country. It's not going to change what's going on in our government or the world or the economy. I think there's a very good chance that things could get a lot worse than what they have been. I mean, just this week I saw a news story, a new strain of that thing, and it's 70% more contagious than the original. Just in time for the holidays. Just in time. You know, there's a lot of science out there, and there's a lot of propaganda out there. And there's a lot of propaganda being called science. I'll just say this, if you're watching mainstream, traditional news channels, you aren't probably getting the actual news or actual science. There, I said it. As I believe it was Benjamin Franklin said, question with boldness even the very existence of God. It is better to be skeptical and study than just eat up with a spoon information that is given to you because you don't know if it's true or if there is an agenda. I will say this. When I was in school, when I was a kid, we were taught critical thinking. We were taught to read an article or story. We were taught to differentiate between whether something was fact or opinion. And I'll say, you know, as most of you know, I've been a blogger for a long time. And through that, I occasionally did sponsored content. I worked with brands and stuff like that. I don't really pursue that anymore. It just doesn't interest me, to be honest. But it gave me an insight to how branding and advertising works. And quite frankly, it is simply propaganda. They want to paint a picture or tell a story to get you to think a certain way to purchase their product. And nowadays, the product that is being peddled is agendas, ideologies, isms. Brush up on your critical thinking, brush up on your fact versus opinion so that you can spot the propaganda and the angles. Because there's a lot of them out there. And I'm trying to be very careful because freedom of speech is being squashed. If you say certain things, algorithms ding you and it's taken down. Sometimes it's a video, sometimes it's a whole channel. How dare you think for yourself? So I don't know that 2021 is going to be any better. They're talking about extending the lockdowns much longer. I don't know how people are surviving at all. It tears me apart. I don't know how they're surviving. We are very blessed in that Mr. Smith has a job where he can work from home. I have a job where I can work from home. So we have not lost our income, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine what families are going through right now when they're dictators? Oh no, I'm sorry. Mayors and governors deem them unessential. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I don't want to touch on politics too much because that is not generally what I talk about. That said, one of the things that we are seeing come under attack, besides families, besides small businesses, besides most American citizens, and citizens of other countries for that matter, is the church. Casinos can be open, but heaven forbid a church open its doors. I think the persecution, we have been very, very blessed here in the United States that we have not seen what real persecution looks like. But I have a feeling that that could very well change. Now, persecution is not a bad thing because God uses that. You look at the first century church. It started in Jerusalem. And the church was growing and becoming stronger and the numbers were expanding. But then what happened? Persecution came. And because of that, the people scattered and the gospel was spread. miracles took place. The church was strong. When your faith doesn't get exercised, it's just like a muscle. It becomes weak and sickly, like me at this moment. But when you come under pressure, you learn what you're made of. God uses pressure and heat to strengthen and purify. There's actually been believers in other nations, and this sounds terrifying, but they have prayed that persecution would come to the United States because they felt that the Christians in America were lukewarm and they were worried about us. I don't know what 21 is going to bring, but I would not. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched in expecting it to be a great year. Hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I am somebody who watches what's going on in the world. I have studied history. I'm a history fanatic, and I see patterns repeating. And we're not allowed to talk about it, or we get taken down. That's another repeating pattern, isn't it? Oh, and one last thing, and this just it's one of those read it and go, sorts of things. In the news lately, the last few days, because this just happened last night, I have seen a lot of stuff about the Christmas star. I had heard people talking about it coming, but there was just something that wasn't sitting right about it to me. And then someone shared an article, or technically it was a Facebook post, that someone had written about this very thing. And it is definitely food for thought. I have kind of had the philosophy for a very long time that if the whole world is excited about something, you should pause and evaluate it. So when it seems like the whole world was excited about this Christmas star, it kind of had my radar going off. And this particular post explains now, I gotta warn you, first of all, I do not know anything about astronomy. Astronomy, not astrology. Astrology is something completely different. Astronomy is the study of the stars and the planets and all that stuff. And, God put the stars and the planets and all that in the sky to use as signs, just like the Star of Bethlehem, okay? So this person explained the different constellations that were coming together to create this Christmas star and the meaning behind them. Y'all, I don't think this star is what people think this star is. Now, like I said, this is a Facebook post. However, it is a public post, and because of that, you don't actually have to even have a Facebook account to read it. So I will put a link to it down below if you are interested in it, but I think it kind of goes hand in hand about what I was just saying about maybe 2021 ain't gonna be as all it's cracked up to be. I'm just saying, I think we need to gird our loins. I am going to wrap this up because I usually try to be uplifting and encouraging in my videos. I try to have my videos be a place of solace, but I guess I'm not feeling cheerful and comforting at the moment, we can blame it on my being under the weather, okay? But I do want to encourage you to get in the Word and be prepared, because I do care about all of you who watch these videos. And I do pray for all of you. So, with that, I will go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for joining me here at the homestead. Hopefully the next time you hear from me, I will be a little bit more sunshine and a little less clouds. So, oh, that probably didn't even make sense. I'll talk to you next time.